Okay. Hello, it's me, Jabria from Jabria Jabbers. Today we're going to be reviewing two movies that I will tell you about. I don't want to say it off the bat. There's going to be two movies. The first movie is going to be Marmalade, and the second movie is going to be called Let Go. Marmalade, let's get into it. This is going to be spoilers free. Yes, because I have a friend who wants to know spoiler free reviews. There's going to be a spoiler free review. So Marmalade is on Hulu, and it stars Joe. I have everything written down. His name is Joe Kier, aka Steve from Steve from Stranger Things. I'm gonna try to make it big so you can see. Yeah, you can see, as you can see. Yes, because your girl don't feel like going in and editing. So this is gonna be on the cover anyway. But yes, Marmalade starring Joe Kier, and this is Camilla, and this is Aldi. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. I love him. If you don't know, he's from Invisible Man, and he has a lot of really good acting. He's just so good. So anyways, this movie, what it's about, it's set in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, and there's this kid, and let's just call him Baron, because that's his name, Baron, and he's taking care of his sick mom. It's this really small town, very boring, very dull, and he's taking care of his sick mom. The movie starts in a prison, if I'm not mistaken. He's in prison, and he's the inmate in the prison, and his name in the show is called, or in the movie, is called Otis. So Baron and Otis are in prison, and he's telling the story of how he got to prison. And his story starts where he's this kid in a small town taking care of his mama. And one day, this woman, Marmalade, shows up, and she is just this bright, bubbly character. She's like the girl that you see troped in all those movies, like the girl next door, or Looking for Alaska, that girl, the it girl, the one that has this essence about her, and she is wild and crazy and just so excitable. And basically, I'm trying to make sure I don't give spoilers, basically they get into some stuff that's illegal, that's her idea, and it just tells you how they set up the bad stuff that was her idea, and how it led to him being in prison, Baron. What I love about this movie is all the twists and turns. I love the characters. I love the characters. I think Baron's character is so interesting. I love the accent. It's very specific. I love Otis's accent. It's also very specific, and I love the growth of all the characters. Even Marmalade has a very specific accent. Each character is their own character, you know what I mean? You can tell it's not lazy writing. I love what the writers did with all the names. There's significance in all of the names, I will say that. And I love how the writers paid great detail to that. I also love the color scheme. I love how Marmalade is kind of a mix of these two color schemes, the blue sad boy in town taking care of his mom, and then the inmate who's tough and rugged, and then she's this pop of life, you know? And I feel with her, with people like her, there's also that downside of them kind of being depressed or having some sort of disorder. So I love that she's in between the two of them. I love how funny the movie is and kind of silly. It also has a lot of little almost corny moments, but because it's so fast paced, it's okay. And then when the twists happen, it makes sure to wake the viewer up, if that makes sense. I'm having a hard time describing this without giving spoilers. Something else I love about the film is that there's more than one twist. It just keeps twisting. And it kind of has a mystery, almost Sherlock Holmes quality about it, especially like the more lighthearted show of Sherlock Holmes. Like I really like that vibe in this kind of movie. It's very unexpected, and it's a gem and it's a treat. And for my rating, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. And I would say 4 out of 5 stars because it surprised me and it's a gem. The only reason it's not 5, I would say, is because it could have, I don't know, it didn't leave me like super jarred, if that makes sense. Like 5 out of 5s are the movies that like leave me like in a chokehold, but this one executed the task. Like they understood the assignment is what I meant to say. They understood the assignment with this one. Definitely 4 out of 5. I did write down some, oh crap, some interesting things. So marmalade is a fruit preserve made by cooking the juices and peel of citrus fruits with sugar and water until it forms a thick, clear jelly with fruit pieces. And I feel like that's the best way to describe the movie. Like just know, like going in, I feel like you can feel it right at the start. You can feel that there's like multiple ingredients to this and it needs to be cooked with both the fruit and the peel. You feel me? The directing was great. I love the filter they use for this film. It's very beautiful. It all feels very surreal, and they do a good job of like changing the feeling, the temperature, the atmosphere of the film when it needs to. Like I said, 4 out of 5. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the other movie called Let Go, and this is on Netflix. Now this is a Swedish film. Let me just pull it up on my laptop. Never know how much I need you. I got it. Oh, it went away. As soon as I got it, it went away. But basically, Let Go is a Swedish film. It's on Netflix, and this one is more like realistic. Like it's more like drama and like notes of seriousness in it. But it's like, it's not super heavy, which I think is one of the reasons why I love this film and one of the reasons why I wanted to do a review on it for that reason. So basically, let's talk about the film. So the film is about this mother, Stella, and this husband, Gustav, and they're having a lot of like trouble in their marriage. Like basically they're at their last leg. And again, I'm not gonna spoil like the movie, although it's like, this is one of those movies that's like, even if you get spoiled with the movie, it's about the journey. So it's like okay, you know what I mean? It's not about like a certain point. It's about the journey of the process of something more so than like specific events. So this is what it looks like. Let Go, Netflix. So this is the mom, Stella, the dad, Gustav, the daughter, Anna, and I forgot the little boy's name, but you don't need to know his name. It's just a little boy with a little trailer playing. Yeah, they're on the last leg of their marriage, and the husband is like, you see this in the trailer. The husband is like, I want a divorce, right? And the mom is like, let's just do this last trip before you do all that. Like, well, you can divorce me, but after this last trip. And the last trip is with the daughter, Anna. I love this. She wants to go out of town to this strip, like this pole dancing competition. And she's only like 16. And so it's like, that's also like this little funky element. What I like the most about this film is like its ability to be quiet and yet impactful. It's not as quiet as, for example, Call Me By Your Name. Call Me By Your Name is a super quiet movie where you have to like pick up what's happening via the music and the, you know, facial expressions and the undertone. This one isn't that, it ain't that quiet. There's a lot of dialogue in this one, actually, but it's very subtle. The progress of it, the progress of all the characters is very subtle. It's not overnight, but then again, in some instances, it's an instant switch, and I really love that. this movie made me cry. I think the reason why is because it was very realistic, like family dynamic, like with the mom being super in charge and controlling and getting things done. And then, well, this is a general, you know, stereotypical example anyways. The dad is like not as involved, doesn't know like his kids' favorite colors or their favorite foods and stuff like that. He's just kind of there, goes to work, you know, pays the bills, that kind of dynamic. And you see them really dig into this and unravel this on this trip in a way that is very direct and raw. What I can't stand are those movies that like they're so withholding. It's almost like they're trying to be like cool, like I'm a director, I'm a film writer, you know, like they're trying to be too cool for school, and they don't do all the dialogue, or maybe they just don't have the talent to do dialogue in a way that is impactful and moving. But this film does. Like the dialogue, when they have the conversations and the arguments, they are 10 out of 10, the dialogue. I also really liked that the director of this film is also the main character, the mother. So her name is Josephine. And so Josephine starred in the movie as Stella, and she also directed it, and I'm pretty sure she also wrote it. And so I think this is just bravo Netflix, you know, a Swedish film directed by a woman. You know, 10 out of 10, and it's on Netflix, so go watch it. Something else I really liked about this is the daughter, Anna. Even though she had like a very, like, the whole family had these very like stereotypical family roles, but it didn't feel overdone, like I said, because of the dialogue and because of the uniqueness of the circumstance, like going to a pole dancing competition. In a way, it reminds me of that movie Little Miss Sunshine, which is one of my favorite movies ever. I've seen that movie at least 5 times, and I'm one of those people, like, I watch movies once. Like, I'm one of those people who watches movies once. So when I say I like watch something multiple times, like Zootopia, like it's the bomb. Anyhow, the daughter Anna, I love how there are moments in the film where she's being this very like typical teenage girl and like so like drama and pouty, you know, and very like, oh, I hate you, I don't want to be around you, you suck. You do have these very realistic, grounded moments with her where she's vulnerable, and you see that inside she's just a child who wants to be loved by her parents in a way that is accepting of her. Like there's moments like that. There's also moments when she's being like overly confident or overly bratty, and she is immediately shown that that's not the right way to be. Like it's immediately shut down. And then you also see that she apologizes for that behavior. Like it doesn't just like get swept under the rug. Like you can tell that the director, the writer, everybody on the film really cared about these characters. Even the children, they weren't just pushed aside and the adults made the primary target of the show. They also incorporated some grandparents and some, I guess, family friends along the way. And I really liked the roles of them as well. And I loved how, like the wardrobe, the setting, the type of car they had, like all those things were in alignment with the theme of the movie, if that makes sense. Like all of it went together. I don't like whenever a lot of like American movies, they'll be like, oh, we're an average family, and they live in like $1 million house, because houses that are regular can cost $1 million in America. $1 million house, and they all have on like designer clothes, like designer sweaters that cost like $60 a pop. In this film, you can tell like they chose outfits, they chose cars, they chose homes and hotels eventually that like suited the class of this family, if that makes sense. And I think the actors did a phenomenal job. Like there's also this thing in like a lot of American movies where they're like, oh, this woman is down and out, she's downtrodden, or she's depressed, and then she looks like she's just had a facial. She looks like she just got like new veneers, like she's wearing like very subliminal makeup, but it's still like high quality subliminal makeup. Like you can tell that this woman is like a superstar. And they don't do this with this movie. Like the main actress, the director, she really looks like who they say she is in the film. So all that being said, my rating for this would be, I think 4 out of 5 as well. I was about to say 5, but I think it's not quite 5, because as I said, movies that are 5s, I immediately go and tell people like, watch this today, go watch this today. But it's not one of those movies. It's one of those movies where like you need to come upon it on your own. It'll be like one of those days when you just need to heal that inner child or that inner parent or whoever, and this is the movie you watch. This is a movie you can't, it's not like one of those generic Christmas gifts. You can't just give a person a pair of socks, you know. You have to give this person these hypoallergenic, I don't know, diabetic socks. It's a very specific pair of socks. And that's the only reason I would say not 5 out of 5, but 4 out of 5, because they understood the assignment and they got it done. It perfectly matches the theme and the motifs out throughout the film, all connect. And I feel like it's not like too short or too long. Like some of those movies can be like too long, too short, they rush certain parts, or certain parts can be too long, like they really draw it out. This is the perfect time, and I really love the ending. It was very poetic, and had little, like it's a deep movie, but it doesn't feel sad, overly sad. It's perfect. 4 out of 4, both films. If you want to support me, go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment, share, things like that. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.